We're about to go live, baby, okay?
Hey, yo, what is going on? WrestlingRumors.net family. You are watching Wrestling Warm-Up right here on WrestlingRumors.net. Wrestling Warm-Up, the show that we like to bring you before every Raw, if we can. And, of course, before every single pay-per-view. It is May 4th. So, I would be remiss if I didn't say, May the 4th be with you, my friends. These are not the droids you were looking for. But these are the droids that you're looking at. Is droids the right word? It's another D word probably somewhere in there. John Alba is joining us. And, of course, which is awesome to see on a Monday night. It's been a while, brother.
Yeah, I got to admit, I haven't watched wrestling in a while. Is D'Lo still Intercontinental Champion?
Oh, you better recognize!
Okay.
Yes. And if you didn't shake your head when I said that, something's wrong with you. Yeah, of course. Get the bobblehead. And, of course, also joining us is the Dailies, Adam and Sam Daly. What's going on, guys?
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
Not bad.
Just ready to watch Raw finally.
You're actually excited about Raw? What are you most excited about Raw tonight?
Honestly, Lana. I just want to see Lana. I'm gonna enjoy Lana as the ravishing Russian while I still can. So
there you go. You gotta love the fact when it's a hot chick saying she wants to see a hot chick on Raw. Like there's nothing better than that, right? We want to get some of that Eric Bischoff HLA back, John. Since you always
how's the Val Venus Nicole Bass program? Did I miss something?
Oh yeah, it's been that long, huh? It's been that long. I
was watching the Jerry Springer special on the network, the show that he's got now.
Yeah, the 2 hours TV.
They went back. You saw some Mark Mero and Sable. You saw some Val Venus and Nicole Bass. You saw some Mark Henry and Chyna. They went all the way back.
It's sexual, baby. Sexual. That's right. I used to do my jams,
son. I have an addiction.
You got a penis. What was that chick's name?
He's got a penis.
What was that dude's name?
It was Nikki or something like that. They were called, or something like that.
It was like Sandy or Sammy.
Sammy. It was Sammy.
Okay.
It was Sammy.
Oh man. No, I when they put all the Raws from when they put all the Raws from 1998 on there, I went back and watched all of them, and it's been like 4 weeks. Like just had it on at work while I was, filling out, doing data entry basically. The iPad sitting there with its little kickstand and just rolling Raw after Raw after Raw. And I watched that part. I think it was right at the end of 1998, and man, I just love the fact that Mark Henry's mom was in the audience for that. That's so great, absolutely so great. And if anybody wanted to ask, like, is that Mark Henry's actual mom? They look just alike. It's gotta be
the same person.
I don't know if anybody has watched that in a while, but you need to watch it. It's hilarious. They are the same person.
It's literally just has hair.
Yeah, it's just a weave. It is what it is. So there's some big things going on in wrestling and in culture. Like we said, it's Star Wars Day. So again, May the 4th be with you. Happy Star Wars Day to everybody. We saw some new images from the movie on Variety, and of course. That's really, really cool. Got some good Suicide Squad stuff for the geeks out there like us that love this kind of stuff. Got some images of the Suicide Squad. Adam and Sam, I just want to hit on this right before we get into actual talking about wrestling and Raw. What did you guys think about the group shot? We got some more production images and pictures from the set today. What do you guys think? What do you think about their look?
I loved it. I was kind of just focused on Margot Robbie dressed up as Harley Quinn because they were going with a traditional Harley Quinn look, and this is not a traditional Harley Quinn look. This is like Suicide Squad traditional Harley Quinn look. The blue and red instead of the black and red one suit that she usually wears.
They'll probably adapt her into that.
I love it though. I think she fits perfectly with how Jared Leto to be his Joker. I think they would be perfect with each other.
I like the group shot. I just didn't know what was going on with Killer Croc. Was he wearing what was he wearing in that picture? That's the only thing.
He's wearing a hoodie. If you saw, there's a set pic from today where they're all walking down the street and he's got a hoodie on. It's just really weird. It's Killer Croc. He's got a humongous head.
It looks. I mean, I'll tell you, they did a really good job. Will Smith's the only one I'm concerned about, and I shouldn't be.
No, have you seen him in the Deadshot mask?
No.
Oh, it's fucking killer.
Okay.
It's Sorry.
I hadn't even seen that. Yeah, hey, this ain't even prime time yet. You can't be using that word.
Exactly.
No, I haven't seen the mask yet. I've just seen the group shot and the shots of him walking down the street, with nothing on, just the bald head and of course the pimp suit. I've seen the concept art where he's wearing the pimp suit with the mask on, so we gotta see what that looks like. But if you haven't seen any of that, I'm sure if you hashtag Suicide Squad 2016 on Twitter, you'll see, or just Suicide Squad, you'll see these images. It'll pop up right there on the latest images and photos on Twitter. So check it out if you like that. If you like to be geeks like we do. I saw the Avengers. I saw the Avengers Sunday. I dug it. I'm loving the universe. I'm loving what they're doing with the Infinity Wars and stuff. If you ever want to talk comics or movies or anything with us guys, follow us on Twitter. We'll talk about it as much as you freaking want to because we love the stuff. We got big Batman fans in this crew. We've got big Marvel fans in this crew. So we'll talk to you about anything. We got big Star Wars fan in this crew. So anything you want to talk about, let's talk about it. I love the fact that I got to see set shots from Deadpool today. Freaking A. Love the fact that Ryan Reynolds tweeted out a picture where he looks like he hasn't slept in 3 weeks and he's just got blood all over him, and he said you should see the other guys. And then there's set pics of them recreating the footage that we saw in the test footage with the CGI Deadpool and stuff that they actually used to get this this movie off the ground. I mean, they used this test footage to get a fan backing for it, and that it actually pushed us to get the R rating, and they're recreating that test footage. And so there were set photos of that where Reynolds is in the suit, he's on wires, he's jumping off of bridges. Pretty cool. So I'm stoked to get all this stuff going. Now, to continue with our geekdom.
She's got a penis!
Exactly. Deadpool has a penis. So to continue with our geekdom and of course our fandom, wrestling is one of the things that we're geeks about. So let's talk about some wrestling. We've got to talk about, we have an NXT special coming up in 2 weeks. We'll talk more in depth about the entire card for the NXT Takeover special. Not obviously not tonight, but next Monday night, because it'll be next week. Dude, this is already shaping up to be awesome because they're already going to go ahead and run with this Kevin Owens and the Sami match. I don't know where to go with this. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens championship match, and I want to talk to you guys about this because we just got Neville put on the main roster. And we see what kind of success that has been. He's doing really well and exceeding people's expectations, already getting Make-A-Wishes and stuff. That's really, really cool. But here we go. We heard before the year started that they wanted to bring up Sami Zayn, Adrian Neville, and Charlotte for sure this year. And now that we have a May TakeOver special, they're going to go ahead and run with a championship match between Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and they haven't built as much, a lot up for that yet. Outside of, we saw what happened in December, we've seen what's happened over the last 5 months. I thought they were going to stretch this thing out for a year and get a good year-long story like they did with Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn, where we're going to get, Sami may get to this match with Kevin Owens, and it becomes, look, you want the title so bad, you want to beat my ass so bad, here's the match, and if you lose, you're gone from NXT. And then we get Sami Zayn bumped up. What do you guys think about this match? Do you think that's actually going to happen in 2 weeks, or do you think that we're still going to get Sami Zayn in NXT for the next 3 or 4 months?
I definitely thought that they were going to bring him up this year. I think it's a little sooner than what I thought. I definitely didn't think it was going to be till after SummerSlam. I don't know about you guys, but I figured they were going to stretch out this Kevin Owens Sami Zayn feud simply because they have so much history together and they like those long feuds like that in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
And they just go ahead and have it be a year-long feud instead of, they're kind of killing it pretty early, I think.
I think the smart fans know that this is Steen versus Generico. You know what I mean? So the smart fans watch NXT. So in a way, I think that this is a story that could be told all year long. Just like, Steen Generico got told for years, really. I think they could roll this out all year long. I think, honestly, I think Balor should be the next one up anyway. I mean, that's personal preference and just, I guess, professional preference aside. But I think that I do think that they could tell an amazing story with Zayn and Steen and Owens rather all year long. I really do. Up until if they want to do one in December, really until Rumble next year, I can see them stretching out some sort of story because that's a story that's been told for years in the Indies.
I agree, but here's just before we get to John's thought on it. My question to you is, how do you book this championship match? I mean, the title's on the line, so how do you book this match to get us to at least another takeover special around SummerSlam?
Maybe a Steen DQ. Maybe it's the same thing as before, complete beatdown, then, he gets disqualified or, something along those ways. You still have to make Sami chase somehow, unless Sami gets it real quick, then Owens just completely squashes him. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think?
I completely agree with you. I think the DQ is the best answer because you don't really see them giving the title back to Sami like that. So I think the best option would be DQ.
When's the last time we saw a DQ finish in a title match in NXT?
I don't even recall one.
I don't recall one either. So I mean, in a way, not to say it's overdue, but because they haven't done one yet, or at least not that I can recall.
But I think Bo Dallas had one of those, but I haven't. It would be 2 years at least.
My wild card for all of this is William Regal, and I really think they're planting seeds for Regal to actually step back in the ring at one point. At least that's the impression that I've been getting from watching in the brief time that I've had to watch NXT. Anytime something's going to happen between Zayn and Owens, Regal's there to step in the way. It happened. It was the opening segment this past week.
Yeah.
Where Regal got involved, and what a freaking storytelling match Regal and Kevin Owens could have. It would be so awesome. I think it's something that they could elongate throughout the year, but the problem with that is if you do elongate throughout the year, Sami Zayn has to come out on top, and then Sami Zayn's got to have the championship. And then Zayn's got to hold the championship, so then you're pushing Zayn off to the main roster even longer down the future. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's the route they're going to take with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to see where they go with this. I mean, we got some people in the chat saying maybe Rhino gets involved since he's been talking about a title shot. Because a straight-up beatdown like the last time, we're going to get the same result because, as William Regal has instituted in NXT, a knockout can make the title change hands. The cool thing to see would be if Sami Zayn obliterates Kevin Owens in some way, takes him out. But that would be, it would be weird to see. Alex Riley was doing this whole thing with Kevin Owens, but we just found out today that Alex Riley just underwent knee surgery, so he's out for a little while. I don't know. Just when I feel bad for the guy because just when he's starting to get some steam, he's got a great look to him, and he's getting this NXT build where people are actually starting to use the Alex Riley name on Twitter a lot more, and he's got this rage thing going on that everybody's talking about. Had a great Twitter feud going on with Kevin Owens. Boom, knee injury. So what do you do there? Owens just came back from a knee injury, so I feel bad for Alex Riley, but maybe there is a DQ, maybe it's a dirty finish, but at least we have that match to look forward to in 2 weeks at TakeOver.
What if Regal puts an end to it, puts a stop to the match?
He could. No, that's what I'm saying. He could stop it before it gets to a freaking knockout again. I don't know. We'll have to see. The Alex Riley knee surgery deal was on WWE.com. Ed, for those asking in the chat room, I don't know why we don't have a story up yet on Wrestling Rumors. That should have been on there a long time ago. I don't know why. That will be fixed very shortly.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm pretty sure I shared that with people earlier this morning. But he was starting to get a push. He was starting to get some more heat behind him, and another injury. Here we go. We'll see what happens. But TakeOver 2 weeks, that's going to be cool. As far as Raw and Payback, Payback's in 3 weeks. No, it's actually in 2 weeks. It's the same week as the TakeOver special. At this point, it's how many days?
It's my commencement, man, May 17th.
May 17th.
I become a man.
You're giving a speech then, aren't you?
I am, man. Everyone can live stream it for some reason if they'd want to.
Yeah, what time is that?
9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So you can see John give a speech at his college.
Live on WrestlingRumors.net.
That's right, John Alba with the commencement speech for his graduating class at college. I got congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
That's a big honor. You've been out there doing all that good stuff, and
thank you.
That's really awesome. But Payback, we talked about Sam and Adam had a great piece on this, a video piece talking about the fact that May is free for new subscribers. And their opinions on that was just and pretty awesome. You need to go check that out on our official YouTube channel. But again, May is free and for new subscribers, which again we have another free month of whatever, which means to me the pay-per-view is just going to build up towards the next night on Raw. I mean it's going to be freaking the 18th is what we're going to get some closure from, or it's not going to be the pay-per-view. And we have a triple threat match on the pay-per-view, which I think we all can talk about, and I know that we're going to get some more build towards that on Raw tonight. That is, of course, for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship between Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, and for some reason why they're calling him the big dog on WWE.com, I don't understand. I haven't really heard them refer to him as the big dog over and over again. And I guess it's not a nickname they want to get over really bad because it's not on his T-shirts. And Michael Cole doesn't say it 90,000 times on television, so we know if Michael Cole really wants you to pick up on something, John, what does he do?
Corporate Roman? No, he says it twice.
He says it at least twice. Yeah. He says it at least twice, sometimes 3 or 4 times. So the big dog, as they're calling him on WWE.com, to go with the Viper. I don't really understand why they're going that route, but Roman Reigns and Randy Orton versus Seth Rollins for the title at Payback. We talked about this last week, if they were going to just rush him into this feud or if they were going to, draw it out. And then what happened right at the freaking start of the show? He got rushed right into the daggum title picture where we didn't want him. It's going to be weird to see what actually happens here and how they're going to not force him down our throats, which we've talked about is the issue with him. There's nothing wrong with his charisma. There's nothing wrong with the guy's moveset. There's nothing wrong with the guy's look. The only issue I've had is his booking, his promos that they've scripted for him, and the fact that they've shoved him down our throats. And we talked about that last week. Guys, what do you think here? I mean, are we pleased that he's in this match? What do we expect to see tonight between these 3 guys and the Authority? What's going on?
I have a feeling they are going to try their hardest to, pardon the expression, but make Roman Reigns look strong. The good thing about putting him in a triple threat match is it's not just him and one other guy really trying to play off each other. There's 3 guys here that can work together and try and make everybody look good. And I think this might be their opportunity to kind of not push Roman Reigns down everybody's throat, but make him look good to everybody. I hate saying make him look strong because it's kind of like the internet insult of Roman Reigns right now, but that's not what I mean.
Well, no, that's what their direction is. Make sure he looks strong. So I mean, just because
I think this is a good way to make him look good and a main star in front of everybody's eyes if they play it out well.
I think tonight somebody has to go somewhat gray. I don't think you can have, and whether it's going to have to be Reigns just because of the crowd, crowd reaction. I don't care what anybody says. The crowd's not getting behind Reigns, and my biggest complaint right now is listening to people say, "Oh, listen to the crowd reaction you got on SmackDown." Yeah, if they wanted to push me, I'm going to get a great crowd reaction on SmackDown because it's piped-in crowd chants. They're going to have to edit it. You know what I mean? So no matter what, he's going to sound over on SmackDown. Yep. I think that they'd have to really toe him as the gray area guy in this. Orton's going to be completely over. Rollins is the strong heel. Anytime there's a triple threat, typically there is someone in the gray area. And I think there has to be tonight some sort of standoff between Randy Orton and Roman Reigns just to build some tension between those 2.
John?
I'm super excited for this match. I think this is actually going to be a fantastic match. Roman Reigns hasn't given me any reason to believe that he can't hang with the big dogs. Say big dogs. But people will say, oh, well, he's being put with people who can work. Well, guess what? In the main event, just about every single guy can work. So that's going to be the expectation when you're up there. I agree with you, Adam. I think Roman Reigns is the best guy to put in the gray area here because have him just look out for himself. None of the campy stuff. The big thing is, and that this is something you have to worry about, where is Kane going to play into this story?
Yeah.
Because that's how Raw ended last week, where it's all because of Kane that this all happened. So now, where does Kane fit in? It's not going to be facing Triple H at Payback, I'll tell you that.
No.
Does he have a match against J&J Security? Does he have a match against Big Show, which is probably what it'll end up being?
Wah, wah, wah.
So, how does he play into the main event?
What are you saying, Sam?
Was the Authority even coming back this week, or even before the pay-per-view?
That'll be. I mean, we know Triple H is in. He's in Montreal. Stephanie is obviously back from her trip overseas, so they definitely could make a return tonight. I don't see why they wouldn't. You know,
where they've been at.
Well, Triple H was on the program this past week with his announcement for Tough Enough.
For Tough Enough.
And then he was talking with Kane throughout the whole time, you know, being there. He was on there last week. I think we'll see the Authority tonight. Mainly, you know, and this is another point in the 5-point preview for tonight's Raw. Apparently on SmackDown, Dean Ambrose has had some issues with the Authority as well. Dean Ambrose and the Authority are going to feud for a little bit. That would be another question, John, is where does Dean Ambrose fit into a match with the Authority? Is Dean Ambrose going to take on Kane? Is Dean Ambrose going to take on J&J Security? Or is Dean Ambrose going to take on the Big Show? Because we know Ambrose, they have nothing else for him right now, so they're just sticking with the Authority.
I am very worried about him, man. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do with him.
Money in the Bank winner.
It's either Money in the Bank winner, or he's got to turn heel. It's got to be one of the two. I
still say my theory fits. You have Dean Ambrose win the Money in the Bank. You have Roman Reigns.
All the stars line up, man. They do. It's just they got to do something with him, because and I said this to you guys in the chat, I believe last week. I don't buy that Vince is as high on him as he says he is, because if he was, this wouldn't be what he'd be receiving right now.
But I mean, really, like, is that really the deal? Because
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. You can't say he's not connecting, because I mean, there's nothing interesting for him to do right now.
Right. Well, that's because Vince McMahon is stuck in one spot right now, and that's I want my guy Roman Reigns to be over. Like, that's the theory for Vince McMahon. I'm trying to make this guy the next John Cena or The Rock. So I've got to make him look as awesome as possible. Like we said, last year when Roman Reigns was coming back from his surgery and we knew this was the plan, that it would not stop until the fans got behind Roman Reigns. Now, again, the only way I think this could actually happen is what I predicted the night after WrestleMania on this show, and that is a one-year prediction straight out from WrestleMania that we get a Shield triple threat match at WrestleMania 32, and you either have Roman Reigns turn heel with the championship or without the championship, and he either wins the Royal Rumble or Seth Rollins wins the Royal Rumble, and you have Dean Ambrose win the Money in the Bank and takes the Money in the Bank as, you know, his briefcase all the way to WrestleMania to set up a triple threat. I just believe that's what they're going to do. Now, if it was the organic thing that we talked about multiple times on this show, he would have already been a heel. But they're not doing that. They're not going to go that route. I don't know why. I don't know why they won't pull the trigger. It's ego. It's Vince McMahon. Like we were talking about with Vince McMahon, it's his ego. The reason he doesn't want to pull the trigger and make Roman Reigns a heel is because of his ego. He wants to get this guy over as a babyface. It is his life's goal right now. And then we know the guy sleeps maybe 3 or 4 hours a night, so he's thinking about it constantly. How can I get this guy over and connected to the fans? And it just hasn't happened yet. The fans loved the fact that he beat the Big Show with the same spot that we've seen multiple times on the Big Show.
I enjoyed that match a lot.
The match was good. It was a lot better than anybody thought it was going to be. It really was. And it was because of the spots that they chose to do. My question is, when we get to the triple threat match at Payback, who's the guy that's going to be on the outside for the longest time, just buying time, just resting it up? Because most of the time in a WWE triple threat match, outside of your Kurt Angle, Shawn Michaels, and all these different awesome triple threat matches that we've had with guys that are excellent workers, who's going to be out on the outside in an injury angle or just got wore out and is out on the side for a while? I mean, we look at what we got at Royal Rumble with Brock Lesnar, and I see another situation like that. I really honestly feel like Seth Rollins is going to steal the victory here at Payback because he needs to keep the title. For me, I think you're probably going to get Randy Orton and Roman Reigns fighting for the most time, for the most part in this match, with Seth Rollins just buying time on the outside. And I think maybe I'm hoping for an even keel where You got Seth Rollins going against Randy Orton for a while, and then Orton's out, and then you get Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns for a while, and then Reigns is out, or Rollins is out, and then you get Roman Reigns and Orton for the finish. Rollins comes in, steals the victory. I'm hoping that's the way it goes, but I hope they don't go the route of they would be stupid. It would be absolutely stupid. Now, when we talk about Roman Reigns, outside of the matches like we have with Big Show, where he's allowed to do the spots like a spear through the barricade and all the kinds of stuff that he was doing at Extreme Rules, jumping off the table into a Superman punch, jumping off the table into a spear, like that kind of stuff, it allowed him to look better than he was. But in most matches, especially in the WrestleMania 31 match with Brock Lesnar, he only does his signature moves for the most part. He doesn't have a versatile moveset, okay? He just doesn't. It's Samoan drop, Superman punch, which we know he does way too much in a match, and then the spear and the kick on the apron. He's got four moves to do him. He doesn't even have 5, which is bad. And that's all he's doing is signature moves. So it would be dumb, in my opinion, because we've already seen that Roman Reigns and Randy Orton can have a good match. Okay, we've seen that. That can happen. So I'm hoping they don't go the dumb route and have Roman Reigns be on the outside for too long. Roman Reigns needs to be in the ring with Randy Orton for the majority of this match so that he can look strong and look good so the fans can get behind him a little bit more. I think he needs to be in that ring as much as possible, probably more than either of the other two guys.
I'm trying to think. We never got a Roman Reigns Randy Orton program before, did we? Just a single
match. One match.
SummerSlam.
Yeah, this would be the perfect time then to showcase. You know what? If Reigns and it's not. I don't think any of us are questioning his work. It's just like you said. It's just how they're forcing him down our throats. It has nothing to do with his work ethic, his look, nothing.
Well, I think there are people who are questioning his work.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm not saying we are, but I think there are people.
Yeah,
there's people on our squad that do.
True. But I think if at least if you showcase him the most in this match and show off him and Orton, I think could play off each other very well. But even get Rollins in there the most, I think you make Roman Reigns your workhorse in this match just to show that he can hang, he can go long distance, he can work with both guys. This is where you want to put more spotlight on Roman Reigns than anybody else.
Exactly right, and that's what I was saying. I think that's exactly what they have to do. Has to be Roman Reigns in that match more than anybody else. Period. Has to be. If they want to book him strong going forward, it has to be like that. When you're talking about Dean Ambrose and what's going to happen there, the authority match, whatever he has, is going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy lame. I don't know how else to put it. Until we get to Money in the Bank, there's going to be filler for Dean Ambrose and for his double arm DDT.
You mean Battleground's going to be rough for him?
Battleground's gonna be rough for everybody. I don't even know what kind of crap they're gonna pull together for that show. But we got some more payback matches. They probably need to start setting tonight. They need to get plugged in and ready to go tonight for this pay-per-view. We need to get at least 3 or 4 more matches at least started to be confirmed, if not already confirmed. We got one. We got the I Quit match between Rusev and Cena, which we expected to happen at some point. We just thought it was going to happen a lot sooner. We all thought it should have happened with Brock Lesnar, but we knew John Cena wasn't going to lose, so they weren't going to do the I Quit match because Brock Lesnar damn sure wasn't going to quit. So I don't know. It makes it, again, what I said. John Cena needs to keep the U.S. title because the U.S. Open Challenge gives us at least one really, really good match on Raw each week. It's something that people look forward to see who's actually going to answer the challenge. Last week was just a build for Payback. It wasn't even a match. We did not get a match between the guy that's still coming out to 3-man band music, and he's just one guy, Heath Slater, who finally has something going on with his hair that doesn't look absolutely atrocious. I don't know. I know that he needs to keep the title, right? Because we need this segment on Raw. It's made Raw a little bit better. But the fanboy in me says I would really love to see Rusev make John Cena give up here, just to solidify Rusev as holy crap, Rusev's a main eventer.
But John Cena never gives up.
Right, and John Cena's never lost an IQ.
To never give up. I mean, he's not going to give up.
No, he's not going to give up. But to me, I'm just saying, what better way to solidify your next another monster heel in the company? No matter, don't forget the fact that he's lost to John Cena before. twice.
I completely agree with you.
But
I really would like Rusev, but just don't see it happening.
Here's where you're misled, Doug. See, right now Rusev's booking ain't about Rusev. It's about Sam's girl.
Because it's Mark Mero, Sable 2.0. And I said it on Twitter last week, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I understand it. It's going to be, we talked about it last week, Lana's going to throw the towel in or something, and it's going to lead to the split up of Rusev and Lana, except for in real life, they're just still going to be crushing it in Nashville.
And Rusev will be teaming with Santino Marella next week, so that's where we're going.
God. Rusev's going to pull Santino out of retirement for a tag
so
team?
we get Kozlov Marella 2.0. Yeah, what was it? Apple? Right?
God. Yeah.
Apple?
Yeah. Whatever. At least it's I don't know. At least it's a match that I'm looking forward to because I think there is, as much as we say John Cena's never going to give up because he's the never give up guy, and the fact that he's never lost one of these matches, I would really love to see them invest in Rusev to make him a monster heel. And it doesn't matter that he's lost to John Cena twice if they give him this win. It doesn't. It would further the storyline. It would make him solidified. I really would love to see. I would really love to see it. I'm not. Obviously, I would never pick John Cena to lose this match in an actual predictions piece, but I'm going to say I want John Cena to lose this match only for the benefit of Rusev.
Now, do you think, though, in a way it would benefit Rusev after if Lana is going to break off of him, and if that's the plan, would it be smarter to give that? And granted, it's going to be they'll jump the shark on this, but in a way, if Rusev was away from Lana, then I would be completely on board with that, just so that way we could see him alone as a singles monster, But I think they want to play the Lana angle out first, and then we'll see more of what Rusev, like basically on, I don't want to say like a Goldberg style push, but we'll probably see him go on another undefeated streak, after him and Lana split.
Yeah, but we saw that happen with Ryback, and you see how that worked out. It did.
And I think that's everyone's fear with Rusev after Lana leaves his side, yeah.
Right, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want them to go ahead and pull the trigger on this because they're going to miss the boat if they don't. If they don't pull the trigger here and they wait to break Lana off and then put him on another huge push, yeah, he could still probably bounce back because he's a little bit better in the ring than Ryback is, as far as overall presentation and charisma and in-ring ability. But it killed Ryback when they did that, and I don't want to see that happen to Rusev. He's too daggum good. He's just way too good. But speaking of the U.S. Open Challenge, we don't know who's going to face John Cena tonight. If it's my vote, and then we'll get everybody else's vote on who you think it is, I'm going to say the same thing I said last week. I want to see Sandow come out and do this thing. I want to see Sandow get a good match with John Cena. We've already seen them have a really great match, even though Sandow came out on the losing side there for the World Heavyweight Championship last year. I would really love to see this new face Damian Sandow come out to his new catchy-ass music and have a good match. John, who do you think?
Yeah, I think Sandow as well.
Dailies?
I think Sandow would be the perfect candidate, don't you?
I think Sandow's the best bet, but look for somebody Canadian.
Canadian.
With it being in Montreal, they'll probably pander to the Canadian crowd. So I think you might be looking at Canadian.
Yeah, but when it should be fairly obvious, hometown guys never ever succeed or get.
We have a U.S. title match in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
They're not going to succeed if they go get.
Well, no, not just succeed, but proper booking in that sense. As is, I mean, if you're talking Canadian, I mean, who could you throw Christian
Tyson
back out there?
You're talking Tyson Kidd.
I don't really know.
Yeah, other than Kidd right now, or like which they won't do, but like a Sami Zayn surprise, you know what I mean? But I mean, there's the Canadian roster. Thinking about it now, it's like it's thinned out a lot.
Well,
really
if you're talking about a Canadian Raw, you can bring up and have either Zayn or Owens surprise everybody and
You
show.
should have Natty go out there.
No, get out of here. Natty's going to come challenge John Cena for the U.S.
You know what? I want to kind of use
China.
this. I kind of want to use this. She faced a bull in an interspecies match, but I want to transition this into the New Day Kid Sorrow stuff because, hey, hold up a minute, things are interesting now, like that because
they're double turn.
They finally woke up and were like, wait a minute, we should be booking these guys like bad guys.
Right. Yeah.
So they did.
So they did. Finally.
I still want them to be more obnoxious, though. I want them to really just drive it.
You didn't see. I saw. It was like one of the only matches I saw on SmackDown, buddy. They were super obnoxious the entire time, and they won because
I saw the rematch. I saw the rematch. Yeah.
Well, no, you saw the match on SmackDown.
It was the championship rematch.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, I want to see more vignettes. I want to see more promos. I want to see them really, really going after it.
Yes, and just like we said last week, at no point should they acknowledge that they're heels. At no point.
No, they're doing the right thing.
Exactly. And I mean, obviously they're trying to be obnoxious and play to the crowd as much as possible because that gimmick is just so cheesy, and they have to be over the top. Has to be over the top. None of us thought this thing was, when it started, John, you and I both were like, they need to be heels instantly, and this needs to be the way that they go if it's going to be this gimmick. They tried the other way. Obviously, that didn't work. Now we're getting it. It has to be over the top, like we said 9 months ago. It has to be over the top, and it has to be super cheesy, and they have to be as positive as possible and still cheating. They need to win. They need to hold those titles until SummerSlam and cheat every single time. They are the Freebirds, is what they're going to be. If they're going to be compared to the Freebirds, for God's sakes, they have to cheat as much as possible to keep those titles. And we're talking. Nope. We made the decision that Xavier Woods and Big E are going to wrestle this week, and then you have Kofi Kingston do something heelish on the outside. You got to get everybody's got to take turns doing heelish stuff. So, Xavier Woods on the outside, especially at the pay-per-view at Extreme Rules, was incredibly entertaining and very, very awesome. This past week on SmackDown, same thing. Very awesome on the outside.
These three guys are so entertaining. So entertaining.
And we said these guys, they're awesome competitors. They're all coming together. There's no reason why these three guys shouldn't be good. And we were so disappointed for so long, and now it's finally going to work. And by God, we get my boys Cesaro as faces, and they're going to tear it up, and they're going to fight for another. They're going to go through a bunch of tag teams over the next few weeks to get to another match, another freaking rematch, since they already used the rematch clause on SmackDown. They're going to have to get back. They're going to have to beat some more tag teams to become the number one contenders again, or they can get all pissy about the fact that they got DQ'd and just come out and continue the feud going on. Either way, Cesaro is going to get a massive pop tonight in Montreal. I expect that. I really hope that Montreal lays into the New Day, and New Day just keeps bringing what they're bringing. I'm actually, again, we were waiting for something special from these guys. I think we're finally getting it, so I'm excited about what they're going to bring to the table tonight in Montreal. I don't know what kind of match we're going to. Probably going to be singles matches between some people in the tag teams. I don't know if we're going to get an actual tag team bout between New Day and Cesaro, but I'd be interested to see what they're going to bring to the table. Not only do we have those guys doing some good stuff, we have a new King of the Ring that we had happen this past week, who hasn't decreed anything yet, who hasn't given a promo on live TV since he won the keys to the kingdom. Bad news, Barrett. King Barrett is now in rule of the wrestling ring in WWE. What do you guys want to see from King Barrett tonight? Who do we have him going in a feud with it for Payback? Neville still?
I think Neville is basically the most logical candidate since Daniel Bryan's not around as his most recent feud.
Honestly, this is what I'm looking forward to the most tonight, is just see Wade Barrett finally give that King promo. I think that's really going to be my highlight, and to your point, to see where they go with him, whether it's a rehash of Neville and they continue that going on. Realistically, you could do him and Ambrose. Ambrose is feuding with the Authority right now. I'm trying to think of other names. Neville's really the only one that really makes sense.
John,
they're 1-1, so you got to have that. Match.
Do we get new King music?
Well, I was just actually going to say, I think this is their way of repackaging Barrett because they want to get away from the bad news stuff since it got over. So they want to get away from that.
Except for JBL constantly saying,
I got some bad news, hey,
King Bad News!
He's my favorite guy!
He wasn't even calling him King Barrett. He was just saying King Bad News the entire
time. My favorite guy, Michael!
So with that going on, I think we're still going to get Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus in a rematch at Payback. Obviously, there's some payback that needs to happen.
For Payback, yeah.
So that freaking shot, that Ziggler, that stiff shot that Sheamus took and was busted open. That alone, and I made the comment on Twitter, and I like that it got retweeted as much as it did. When someone gets busted open, and we've talked about this before, I love the fact that color means something now, and it's not like it was in the late 90s and early 2000s when we saw blood on a consistent basis. They had, buckets of sanitizer to clean the canvas with, night after night after night, because there was so much blood. We were talking about Ric Flair earlier. We were talking about me getting bled on by Ric Flair. That's something that went down in 2010 during his stint somewhere else, that we just don't even acknowledge that happened, because we don't want to taint Ric Flair's awesome legacy with his stint somewhere else.
But Booker T did, so.
Booker T just threw him under the bus. That's so awesome. Oh my God. Oh, so great. So great. Well, that was Ric Flair sticking up for Sting before WrestleMania, John, what you're talking about on the WrestleMania Today things on the network. If you watch that, Ric Flair sat down with Booker T and Michael Cole, and they were talking about Sting and his legacy, and Michael Cole had the audacity and the absolute nerve, like they did on TV every single week, to say, Sting hasn't wrestled in like 14 years. 14 years. He hasn't been in the ring in forever. And Ric Flair goes, no, it has not been that long. It's been like 3. He was down there, Booker. He was down there with you, Book, and me. He just threw it off. It was absolutely hilarious. No, Ed, I did get tested. I'm totally fine with having Ric Flair. I didn't have any open cuts or anything. We're good. It was just on my shirt, so we're fine. We had breakfast the next morning with Ric Flair. It was totally fine. He had this huge bandage over his vagina forehead. If you don't know what that term means, just Google a picture of Dusty Rhodes. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But no,
definitely don't search vagina forehead on
no.
Google. No. That would be a good idea.
Don't Google that. Just Google Dusty Rhodes forehead. That'll help. Just do that. Just do that. Thank you for pointing that out, John.
I'm sorry, Sam. We forget that we have a lady here now. Lady Max is in fact.
Honestly,
She's gonna Google it later.
She has a worse mind than me, so trust me.
Have you heard her mouth, John? Language.
Kate Upton got up, so.
Oh, hey, they got down too. No, I think what we're talking about now that we're way off track, which I don't even remember what we were talking about. How did we get on Ric Flair and blood?
Oh, you talking about Sheamus getting covered.
The fact that they're not juicing, the fact that they're not getting color on themselves, it makes it mean so much more. Like, as soon as I saw Sheamus with blood running down his freaking eye, like running down his orbital socket, I'm like, yes, he got busted open legitimately from some shots in this match. I love it. It just makes it feel so much more, to use the term loosely, real. Because we know that there was some real shots laid in. They're laying it in there. They're getting physical. It's scripted, sure. Is it fake? Hell no, because that guy had stitches over his eyebrow after last Tuesday night. So boom. I love the fact that color means something, because it's legitimate when it happens. I'm very excited that it's not a bloodfest anymore like it used to be. Even though I was big into that, man. I was a huge ECW fan, so I understand. I always thought the cheese grater stuff was I thought it was badass when I was a 16-year-old kid. So I understand it, but it's not New Jack. Okay, let's just say that it's not Necro Butcher.
Don't bring up those memories for me, man.
That's why I brought it up. It's not New Jack, and it's not the Necro Butcher, John. It's not that.
I still smell like broken
fluorescent light bulbs.
Oh my God.
Oh, and no one will ever see that, John. No one will ever see what you went through to get us that footage. No one will ever see it. I feel bad. I feel bad for you. So more stuff on track for Raw tonight. Bray Wyatt and the whole Ryback deal. I am so uninterested in Ryback. You know my feelings towards Ryback. Everybody that's watching this thing. I have affectionately given him a name since 2012 of Ryhack. I hashtag everything with Ryback. You know, it's just something I can't stand his voice. I can't stand his move. I can't stand his look. I can't stand his faux pyro at the beginning at his entrance. I can't stand him saying it's feeding time, like it's clobbering time. I can't stand a lot of about him. I love his heart for the business. I love listening to interviews with him and how he gives my boy Scott Hall so much love, because you know, that was one of the reasons I fell in love with wrestling too. Is the dedication and hard work that Scott Hall put in his early years, and how great of a mind he is, and it got Ryan Reeves, it got Ryback into it as well, and I love listening to him talk about that kind of stuff. He has a great charisma about him when he's just being himself. The hospital video of him talking about how mothers love the big guy, that was entertaining. The last few weeks before the Bray Wyatt stuff came in, he was entertaining with Bo Dallas when he got the mic and said something afterwards. That was entertaining. I enjoy that part of Ryback, but everything else about him I can't stand. Okay, I cannot stand it. I don't like the guy. That's my own personal preference. If you like him, that's cool. You like who you like. That's the beautiful part about wrestling, is that you like who you like, and I like who I like, and we don't have to like the same people. But I'm a huge Bray Wyatt fan. I will be interested in seeing what kind of matches these two guys are going to be able to put on. I don't expect Dave Meltzer to be giving them 5 stars or even 4 stars. Maybe we'll get 2.5 to 3. I'm very unexcited about this program, even though I know WWE wants Ryback to work with someone credible, and I don't care how many losses you say Bray Wyatt has taken. The guy just worked with The Undertaker, and if you asked a group of 100 casual wrestling fans who are the best talkers on the microphone in WWE, you're going to get Paul Heyman, Bray Wyatt, and probably John Cena. So Bray Wyatt is still credible to people, whether you like it or not. And WWE wanted Ryback to work a feud, work a program with someone credible, and they picked Bray Wyatt. I don't like the fact that I'm going to have to watch matches between the two that go longer than 15 minutes. But I'm going to love the promos. I've been loving the promos, obviously, from Bray Wyatt. But to me, if there's going to be anything beneficial between Ryback and Bray Wyatt, and I want to know if you guys agree and what you would want him to do here. My thought is Ryback's going to have to get on the microphone and be extremely charismatic to combat Bray Wyatt's promos. Are we going to see that at all?
No.
Nope.
Not at all.
Never in a million years, because there's something that Ryback lacks, and that's charisma. So I don't know.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. He has charisma. They just don't let him. He doesn't show it much.
You know what, though? I'm with you, Doug, because I'm very anti-Ryback on a personal level, just because there's nothing that really entertains me about him at all. Even Bray Wyatt, I'm with you where he's going to have to talk, but in a way, it's almost like the Undertaker feud where I feel like Bray's going to do all of the carrying, and we might not even see Ryback with a microphone unless it's a real short 2-minute little clip, because it's another one of those where, again, who are the fans going to be behind, Bray or Ryback?
John, your
thought? When was the last time you saw Ryback give a good promo? That's my question.
It doesn't have to be long, but
when he came back, he gave some awesome stuff.
Let's see. I don't know about that, because he was trying to be more serious then. I don't want serious Ryback. I want jokey Ryback like he was at Extreme.
I thought it was genuine. I didn't think it was serious. I thought it was genuine. I felt like for the first time the guy was connecting, other than the "Feed Me More" chant.
I thought it was a complete work just to make himself look like a good guy because of the whole CM Punk Ryback stuff that was going on.
If it was a work or not, I thought it was great.
Yeah, I mean, they gave him something that said, "Go read this," and he said, "Okay." So to me, I'm very sour on Ryback. To me, he doesn't do anything for me.
I don't know what this program accomplishes when all is said and done. Because right now, I mean, Bray Wyatt's booking is so freaking frustrating.
Yes.
It's like Dean Ambrose.
It's mind-numbingly frustrating. But it's not necessarily just Vince's fault, because, honestly, who is he going to go against? There's no foe for him to really latch on a captivating feud with right now.
Right, because they screwed up the whole Dean Ambrose thing. These guys could still be working each other. It's
just, I'm not expecting anything out of this feud. I don't expect any one of them to benefit more than the other. It's going to be it'll be a decent feud, but it's just stagnant. It's not going to do anything for it.
To me, the only way that this becomes a decent feud is if Ryback can pull something out of his butt on the microphone. That's it. That's why I was saying the only way that Ryback can come out of this thing looking any better than he went into it then is that he actually can cut his teeth on the microphone with this guy. If he doesn't advance on the microphone, he's going to be in the same position he's in forever. I remember when he started his rise as Ryback and was undefeated and doing his stupid Samoan drop with a march in front of it with two guys on his back, and Frank Manzo on Wrestle Reaction back then was constantly saying this guy's going to be a WWE champion very soon, and I'm like, no, he's going to be stuck in the mid card, if not released by 2015. And where is he? He's still in the mid card. He's exactly where we said he would be, or exactly where I said he would be at least. I know Frank and them love Ryback, and Alex loves Ryback, and all that kind of stuff. Like again, I'm cool with that. Love who you love, yeah, and I can hate who I hate. But I'm just trying to be on the positive note. I'm just trying to say they have to do something promo related with Ryback to get him to look like, something better than a shiny piece of mediocrity right now.
And if they're going to keep him as a face, they need him to start looking a lot stronger as a face too. And because they're kind of they're kind of thin at the top right now, and if they want to elevate him to that low main event, high mid, if they want to at least elevate him a little bit, he has to come out of this looking like a superstar. And to your point, whether it's he finally gets it on the mic, whether otherwise, John, to your point too, it's very stagnant for both guys. I don't see who really benefits out of this. It makes the most sense right now, but at the same time, it doesn't really benefit either of them. I think it's just happenstance of everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we're excited about for tonight? Anybody we left out? I'm always interested to see what kind of shenanigans Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas are going to pull. I'm really happy that Bo Dallas is back on Raw, even if he is getting squashed by Ryback on a consistent basis at this point.
Charlotte tweeted out today that she's in Montreal for Raw, so take that for what it is.
Well, we know she's not in the title picture for NXT anymore.
Take that for what it is, even if it's just for superstars or main event or something. You never know.
Well, Sami Zayn's there too.
Yeah, so I mean, hey, that's just something to keep an eye, look out for. I mean, we didn't talk about the Divas Championship picture.
Oh, why? I wonder why.
We didn't hit on it. I mean, the Bellas were on fire on Instagram this week. I don't know where do we go with this.
Don't get Sam started on the Bellas.
Yeah, I know. We're not. We got what, 6 minutes to kill Sam. Go ahead, tell us about the Bellas.
I hate the Bellas.
And remember, language.
Yeah, I can't talk about the Bellas because I have to watch my language, and if I do that, I can't talk about them. There's nothing to talk about.
I mean, the bigger thing. How about this? I got it. Because I wrote this story, and I know you guys did video stuff on it, but let's shoot it right now. Hulk Hogan, WrestleMania 32. Do we want it or no?
Nope.
Unless it's Curtis Axel and him doing a tearing the shirt off contest, I don't want him at WrestleMania 32.
I'll be in the bathroom.
John. Okay. Before I say my piece, John, you wrote the article.
I did.
Hogan has been talking about a comeback for a year and a half. Before, right after WrestleMania 30, he's like, I'm getting back in ring shape. I want to do one more match at least. We know that he's been talking with McMahon, and we know that the WWE really wants any legend that's alive that can pull numbers, that can draw money, to be on the card for WrestleMania 32, because they're going to try to break every single record. We just found out, but just this past week when I was covering news on Thursday. Listen, I was on the budget call. I listened to the entire thing before I wrote a summary of what went down on that thing. I was on the investor call with Vince McMahon and George Barrios, and I'm listening to everything they're talking about. They just had the most successful WrestleMania to date ever with WrestleMania 31 as far as buy rates go. They just broke a lot of records and won awards for the network. Like, they just had the most. They've hit their numbers as far as they want for subscribers on the network. Now, they want to break indoor attendance records. They want to sell out the largest arena in the United States. Are you not? I mean, and I want to know your thought before I get to whether or not I want him. Do you want him to be there? More importantly, is it not a no-brainer that Hulk Hogan's going to be on that card?
Yeah. Yeah.
And John, do you who would you book him with?
I mean, in some way, you can guarantee he's going to be involved with the card. Whether it's in a wrestling role or not is still to be seen, but he's going to be involved in a match in some way. Whether he's in someone's corner, he's a special guest referee, whatever it is, he's going to be on the card.
Well, they're not going to give him a microphone and have him introduce the freaking thing again. That's not going to happen.
There was actually a very funny moment in that press conference that the article came from where someone shouted something in this really thick Australian accent, and he's like, is he telling me that I screwed up something again? Yeah. I mean, who the hell do you put him against? You're exactly right. You can't do him versus an old geezer. You can't do Piper or Hogan. It has to be someone.
There's only one name that makes sense, John.
Cena.
There's only one name that makes sense. And Adam hit it on the nail.
I mean, that's the match that everyone's been talking about. Exactly, it is. And I mean, if someone's going to be able to work with him, it's going to be John Cena. So.
And think about the dream matches that everybody's been talking about for years for WrestleMania. Okay, you're gonna get them at WrestleMania 32. They're going to stack this card. You're not gonna get Austin and Punk for obvious reasons. But think about the other WrestleMania matches that people have been wanting to see. Sting and Taker. Taker walked back to the backstage after WrestleMania 31, telling everybody how awesome he felt. Why? Because the match was good, and he didn't leave with a concussion. The guy, he's 50 years old. His contract's coming up. He knows he's going to have at least one more match. It's in Texas, his home state. It's about 100 miles away from his house. He's going to have a good showing. He's going to have an awesome match. They're going to have a good match. I don't care. Richard Simmons looking Sting with his hair, whatever, carrot top. They're going to have a good match. Period.
No,
I don't care what you say. Yes, exactly right.
I look at it this way: whether or not we want to see it or not, it's good business. I mean, we can sit here and complain.
I would love to see Cena Hogan. I'd love to see Cena Hogan. I think it would be awesome. I think it would really create a very cool WrestleMania moment. You wouldn't have Cena in a title picture, so that means somebody else is going to get a chance to be in a title picture at that point. Whether it's Shield or whether it's a mid-card title, whatever title it is, it's good business all around, and it's something where you can literally say these are the two biggest stars of their eras going face-to-face. And they tried to do it with Rock Hogan, and that was amazing, but The Rock wasn't even the biggest star of his era. This would actually be that way.
Right, well, seriously, we've saw this happen before with Rock and Hogan. In the early, in 2002, we saw biggest star that was outside of Stone Cold Steve Austin, biggest star right then. He was hotter than Stone Cold then. Didn't sell more merchandise than Stone Cold, but he was hotter than Stone Cold at that point. And that's why Vince McMahon moved that match, because it was supposed to be Stone Cold and Hogan. Let's be real. It was supposed to be Stone Cold Steve Austin and Hulk Hogan at that match, and it got switched to Stone Cold and Scott Hall, which was a great match. Don't get me wrong.
Great stunners. Great stunners.
Scott Hall sells a stunner like a champ. Like, he does the same exact thing that Shane McMahon did, and it was awesome. Great match. Whatever. But Stone Cold Steve Austin gets hot when he's talking about that situation because he was supposed to face Hulk Hogan, because there's nobody in this world that has sold more tickets to arenas or sold more merchandise. No matter how many shirts come off the shelves for John Cena has still not surpassed Stone Cold Steve Austin as far as merchandise sales go. It hasn't happened. The man that has sold the most merchandise and made the most money for WWE is Stone Cold Steve Austin, and that match was supposed to be Stone Cold versus Hulk Hogan. It didn't happen. You had The Rock versus Hogan, but how awesome was that match in Toronto? Let's be real.
It's insane.
It wasn't it was exactly what it needed to be. Okay, and the crowd made the whole program change to where Hulk Hogan was now a face. Like it was awesome. It was a moment in time. How many times when we talk about WrestleMania moments do we see them staring at each other and then looking off, and staring at each other and then looking off?
Very organic. Very
organic, very real, awesome WrestleMania moment. We're going to get the same thing, but this time it's going to be John Cena and Hulk Hogan. And I honestly believe if Hulk Hogan wrestles at WrestleMania 32, it's against John Cena or with John Cena in a tag match. But how lame would it be for Hulk Hogan to wrestle one more match and it be a tag match? Right. Now that's how he started WrestleMania. It was a tag match at the first one. But I cannot for the life of me say that Hulk Hogan's training to come back and wrestle one more match and to be a tag match with Cena. It's got to be against Cena. Period. There's no other name to put with Hulk Hogan. There's no other name. If he wrestles at WrestleMania 32, there's no one else for Hulk Hogan to wrestle.
Yeah, I mean, unless something happens with his training where he has a setback, he has to be in a singles match. Cena and him as a tag team would make sense too, but I mean, I agree with you. Cena's the only name that you could really attach to Hogan for WrestleMania next year.
And it would make the most sense because who's Cena gonna like? If we're looking at our card right now, if we're looking at the roster we have right now, and we're gonna go ahead and project towards WrestleMania 32, and you're gonna try to make matches that people are gonna come in droves to see, like Triple H versus The Rock one more time, Stephanie McMahon versus Ronda Rousey if they can pay Dana White enough money, Sting versus The Undertaker, The Shield in a triple threat match for the title, maybe Brock versus Stone Cold or Brock versus Rock. You're looking at, I mean, Stone Cold says he's not going to do it, but they've been talking to Stone Cold about it. They're going to try to pay as much money to anybody to get him to come wrestle at this event. And then you have The Rock. I mean, who's left for John Cena to compete against? That's someone that he's not already competed against with.
Right.
Very true.
Right. I mean, think about it. They were even trying to get Shawn Michaels to come out of retirement for this WrestleMania.
Correct.
You know,
Shawn Michaels said it himself.
Yep. And so they're really trying to get anybody. And Cena is the most logical. It's the most logical from a business standpoint, from a booking standpoint. I think
it's the only one that makes sense.
It's the only one that makes sense.
Hey, we're not overlooking Raw or Payback. We've already talked about all that, people in the chat room. It's your fault for getting here late, or just now waking up and listening. We merged on to talking about this last thing for you guys. We weren't even going to talk about WrestleMania 32.
Top story of the week, man.
Top story. The story came out on Friday, and then boom, we had an update today. The guy is serious. He's serious about training. He's serious about getting back in the ring. He's going to drop one more leg, and then he's done. Because if he drops one more leg, his back is going to be done. He's going to be in a wheelchair. So we know he's going to drop at least one more.
I'm done.
You know, he's going to be real American it out in a wheelchair on a little motorized cart.
Bleeding on Doug McDonald at Universal Studios.
He's gonna come out in a red and yellow tip assist. We know. Tip assist. But no, I mean you're gonna get Brock versus somebody big. I don't know who it's gonna be, but you know that card is gonna look awesome because they're gonna make it the most amazing event that they've ever booked. Period. And you're not going to get Hulk Hogan versus Stone Cold at this one, guys. That's not going to happen. People in the chat room, Acer, it's not. You're not going to get Hulk versus Steve Austin. That's not what Steve's going to come out of retirement for. It's not going to happen. I'm wore out. So this was entertaining. I mean, I don't know where Daniel Bryan fits into all this. If he even comes back and actually wrestles, people in the chat room saying now who would Daniel Bryan face, like Sami Zayn or somebody like that.
I'm not convinced he's coming back.
Well, I'm not either, and I don't think WWE is either. And I don't know. Maybe they address the Intercontinental Championship tonight. I would
sooner the better. I think they need to address it like now.
I agree. You know, obviously we saw what kind of shenanigans they pulled with Brie Bella last week to solidify them as faces, even though they were heels the night before and then faces the night. It's whatever. It's the most inconsistent, stupid stuff. I don't know what they're going to do with Daniel Bryan. They used the story to push Brie into a face, and now it's a legitimate question. I hate it. I hate it for him. It's just a very legitimate question. What does this mean for the title? Are they going to strip him of it? Are they going to have a tournament for it? Because King Barrett was the number one contender. Does he stay the number one contender now that he's king? What do we see? Are we ever going to see him in the ring again? I don't know. And I think they need to address it as soon as possible, like you said. I think it needs to happen ASAP. I think it definitely needs to happen. Jazz is still booking WrestleMania 32. She says Lita versus Paige. Right. This is what's happening right now.
This would be an excellent match.
It would be a great match. Yeah. And who knows? I don't know what we're gonna see tonight. I'm just excited to see King Barrett. Hopefully we get new music. I really love it if Sandow is the guy that answers U.S. title open challenge. Hopefully we see that at the start of the show. But I'm going to go ahead and say if Stephanie is back with Triple H, we probably see the Authority to kick off things, especially with how SmackDown went down with Kane and Dean Ambrose and all those guys. And, of course, Roman Reigns coming out to save Dean Ambrose. We'll see what happens, man. Raw starts in about 25 minutes. You can get over to the USA Network, catch the end of whatever NCIS is playing right now. John and Adam and Sam, thanks for coming on. As always, you can follow John on Twitter at JohnAlbaSFC. You can follow Sam at LadyNexus13. And, of course, you can follow Adam at AdamDaily13. And there's an E in there, guys. Don't mess that up. There's an E in Daily. Don't mess that up.
It stands for entertainment.
Yeah, of course. It stands
That's right. There we go.
Adam Day Entertainment.
It used to be an F. It used to be an F.
Adam Daily.
It got the F out, and now it's Daily with an E. We're very committed.
It used to be Delphi.
We're very committed to our wrestling fandom.
It used to be Delphi.
It did. It used to be Delphi. But we're Wrestling Rumors, man. We love you guys. Thanks for watching. You can follow me at Doug O'Mac or, of course, at Wrestle Rumors. I'll be live tweeting all throughout the show. Live tweet with me so that we can have some fun, even during the dull segments, which, of course, there are going to be some. But, of course, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one, which will be next Monday. We'll see you then. May the 4th be with you. It just sounds like I'm Dusty Rhodes. I don't know. May the 4th be with you, baby.
Uncle
Flea. Down that forehead.
Uncle Flea.